Ever since arriving in the mountains, I've been looking for a jacket that's warm but breathable, has a nice light bright orange or red color, folds down into virtually nothing, and is at the very least water resistant. And after wandering around some stores in Calgary and Canmore, I was starting to be pretty convinced that this jacket probably just didn't exist. I mean, finding a jacket like this would solve so many problems and would essentially serve as 2 of my 3 layers on trail. That is until I went into an outdoor store in Banff and started talking to one of the guys who worked there about what exactly I was looking for. And he showed me a beautiful orange-red Arc'teryx jacket, which pretty much cost what I would spend on new clothes in an entire year. This jacket was $300 and it really hurt to purchase it. But as far as I can tell, it's got everything I want. Not only is it water resistant, but it actually straight up wicks water. So it can serve as a top layer. It's nice and warm, but it's breathable. I'm really looking forward to putting it to the test. And what better place than the Canadian Rockies to put a new hiking jacket to the test? Really hope it doesn't rip on the trail.
Right now we're on the Dragon's Back, and it is by far the scariest part of this entire hike. It spans probably about 20 feet across at its widest points, but as you can see right back there, maybe 4 feet, 1.5 meters. That's by far the scariest point of it all.
Awesome job.
Oh, that was one of the worst scree slogs of our life. That was awful.
That was by far the least enjoyable hike we've done all year. You can see Mount Assiniboine clearly in the distance, towering over the rest of the Canadian Rockies. Mount Cascade behind us, Lake Minnewanka out in the distance. You can even see the Three Sisters in Canmore if we were to look over the edge of the east face of Rundle, which is a sheer straight drop. I'm glad we brought our helmets. There were some hikers behind us that were seriously unprepared. They didn't bring poles, they didn't bring helmets, and there were some rocks that were getting dislodged. I was a little scared for them.
You couldn't pay for a better view.
What's for lunch?
More Indian.
We still have leftover dal. I think we're gonna add some paneer, some naan. We earned it, and I think we're gonna take the rest of the day off, and we'll maybe catch up with you tomorrow. That is, if we're feeling up to it, if we're not too burned out. Because we still have to make it all the way down this 1,700 meter slog.
I'm actually looking forward to getting back in the woods. I swear it doesn't look this unglamorous all the time.
Because I live in the van with someone else, I don't get to escape the expectations of proper hygiene, which means we have to do laundry. Just like regular people, this is our 3rd or 4th laundry day in the van, and unfortunately we have a lot of clothes that can't be put in the dryer. That means we have to hang dry them, and we don't have a clothing rack, and we don't really have the ability to dry them outside, so we've come up with this solution right here. We kind of hang clothes wherever we can, let them dry, but there is a genius solution in all of this. We've cracked both front windows, we've also cracked the back door, and then we turn our roof vent on its full setting in exhaust mode, and it draws air in from the outside. If you put your hand up against either of the front windows or the back door, you'll feel the air rushing in, and essentially we're getting really good air circulation, which helps us dry our clothes faster. We could dry our clothes outside, and that would certainly be the best solution, but we're in a parking lot as per usual. So you gotta be creative when you're trying to live the free van life that we're living. I mean, it's not free, but in terms of like where we park and chill for the day, we're not spending money on a parking spot, except for our Parks Canada pass. I guess that cost us money.
Today has been a great day to just get stuff done. One of the things we had to do today was get an oil change. We left it maybe a touch too long, which isn't totally our fault. We found out today that our vehicle has a hybrid of regular oil and synthetic oil, which means that the time on getting the oil change was a little bit shorter than we anticipated. Luckily for us, we've now gotten our oil change, switched over to full synthetic, and we also had our tires rotated just to keep them as fresh as possible. They even gave us this comprehensive report card. Our baby got all A+, so it's safe to say she's doing okay. We have been noticing a noise coming out of the front passenger wheel though. It's like a rattling noise that we're pretty sure is coming from the hubcap. It's yet to be determined if that's actually the case. We also took advantage of this afternoon to stock up on some groceries. We decided to scrap Save On Foods this time. As it turns out, Save On Foods is not so Save On Foods. So we went to Safeway instead, and they had some very interesting products. Specifically, this salad kit. We don't like to make a habit of buying salad kits just because they have a lot of plastic. However, this one really caught our eye and Rich demanded that we buy it. This is salt and vinegar flavored salad. I don't really like salt and vinegar chips. This has salt and vinegar potato chips in there, and as you can see from the back, that is the salt and vinegar dressing. The amount of chips they give is kind of disappointing. I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. The last time I had something like chips with liquid on them, they got really soggy.
I'm surprised there's not a few more toppings. It's just chips and dressing.
Normally these salads come with like multiple different toppings. Our favorite one's my favorite one is the avocado ranch one. And it comes with like 3 or 4 different toppings.
I'm more of a Southwest kind of guy.
Ooh, the Southwest one's good. I like tortilla chips in my salad. Let's see if these are really, if they're actually good. Do you have anything funny I can say?
I think this is the funny part.
Watching me eat something I absolutely disdain.
And making a mess of our van. Am I gonna have to finish this one?
It's not bad, but just why? Why? I don't understand why. We've got a lot of feedback saying that everyone is loving the cooking, so we're keeping it up and trying to throw in at least one meal a week for you. We're gonna call this section the 15-minute whip-up section. Today we're making a Thai green curry, which is one of my absolute favorites. If you don't really like curry that much, I would highly recommend trying out a Thai green curry because it's a lot milder because of the coconut milk than an Indian curry, for example. Really, this is just a throw together dish. You can add in whatever vegetables you want, whatever protein that you want. It is that easy. If you like mushrooms and peppers, add mushrooms. I'm not going to because Rich might leave the van forever on me, but we've added in some of our absolute favorites and ones that we have left over from the week to make up this week's vegetable curry. We are so lucky to live in a part of the province right now where the produce is incredible. These peas are the best thing I think I've ate all week. So sweet. So today we're adding in lots of eggplant, zucchini, carrots, snow peas, green onion, and fresh English peas. I'm so excited. I can't contain it. I actually love this meal. Today we're gonna be serving it with rice, although I actually really like it with rice noodles. You can whip up the sauce on its own and add vegetables in fresh, not cooked. That's a pro tip there for you. Let's crank this baby. We're gonna start off with our onions, aka our aromatics, and the hardest vegetables that take the longest to cook, which are the carrots. The next thing we'll add in is our eggplant and our zucchini, but we're gonna leave the peas for last just because we wanna keep them a little bit crisper and maintain their greenness so they don't get too mushy yellow looking. We aren't trying to soften the carrots yet because the sauce will help do that. Right now we're just kind of trying to get them a little bit more cooked than their current state, I guess. Next part, zucchini. Zucchini tend to take a little bit longer to soften up than the eggplant, and the eggplant absorbs a lot of oil, so the less time it spends in there, the better. Oops. I can get it out, rinse it off first. Okay, gone. There, it's clean. Just wash the van floor, okay? And for the next thing that needs to cook, the eggplant. This adds a really nice texture, I find, in curries. In Thailand, they use the mini ones that are this big, but they're really bitter, I find. So I really like these ones or the Chinese ones to add some body to the curry.
Look at your skills.
As I leave stuff out of the pan. It's time to go to Flavor Town. So we're gonna add in maybe half the jar to start with, which is roughly, I think, about 2 tablespoons. It's not really enough yet, but I like to kind of build it up from there just in case the coconut milk doesn't quite overpower. Now that these have gotten coated with the green curry paste, we're gonna go ahead and add in our coconut milk. You'll notice it is separated right now, which is not a problem because we're just gonna be mixing it all together in here. Not quite enough yet, so we're just gonna go ahead and add this in right now. You can also add some chicken stock or vegetable stock if you just want to make it a little bit thinner. We're going to also add in a bit of brown sugar, which just helps to round out the flavor. And last but not least, we're going to add in our snow peas and our fresh English peas, just to make this look a little bit greener. Our zucchini is still a little bit crisp, but that's exactly how we want it right now. We don't want anything too mushy, and the eggplant started to soak up all the curry, which is delicious. Put some carrots on top. Make it look orange with that color diversity. You gotta eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. We're gonna let this cook for just a couple more minutes till the peas cook. Serve it over some leftover rice that we have, and call it a night. It's been a few days since we picked up the camera. We had friends of ours come out and join us for a week of adventuring in the Rockies. They decided to rent a camper van, the Karma van that you saw in last week's video. It was really exciting for us to have some time to enjoy van life with friends of ours, and we're really excited that hopefully maybe in the future some people will join us again. We were finally able to figure out the source of the noise in our tire. As it turned out, all you needed to do was kick the tire and it would make the noise. We did go back to the Ford dealership and they figured out the issue. It's a loose brake pad, which I had no idea that that was possible. So as it turns out now, we have to wait about 2 weeks for them to get new brake pads in from the States to be able to install on our vehicle. They can't just go to Napa and pick up a new one. It's not a big deal, just means we're gonna end up back in Canmore sometime soon.
They're everywhere. They're so nice. And we're about to go into the forest too.
Oh, it's fun.
That's our objective for the day. There's mosquitoes everywhere, so we gotta move through the forest fast.
I hope you're ready for this.
Uh-oh. As it turns out, early July might not be as good of a time as we thought to hike in the Rockies. The mosquitoes this morning were violent. We literally could not stop for 2 hours. And they followed us for like an hour above the tree line. I didn't even think mosquitoes had breeding grounds up here. Further back, we crossed a snow patch. We lost the mosquitoes, took a little break, and now we are on the final push. But the views are totally paying off, totally worth it. This is a sweet one too. This is an insane view though. Look at Hector. Oh my goodness. The Balfour Glacier. Hector Lake, Bow Lake. Incredible. The cliffs of these hikes, they honestly don't do it justice. Mount Rundle and Little Hector here have been definitely the hardest that we've done yet. This one was particularly physically demanding. There was a 200-meter vertical stretch where there's no chance I could get the camera out. It was hands-on. And just the general altitude, being here at 31-25 meters above sea level, it just makes every step feel a lot more difficult. But this...
Hey baby, we got 1 bar of LT!
We got cell service! You can see Mount Andermatt there in the distance. Some people will do this as a 2-peak day with Little Hector and Mount Andermatt, but we're not feeling that adventurous. And you can see a cornice here. That's what can make winter traversing really dangerous in this area. If you step out onto a cornice like this that's not solid, and it gives way, you end up 1,000 meters below. But the view of the Hector Glacier, it's the biggest glacier I've ever seen up this close and personal. And you can even see the toe like 3 kilometers down there. It's really cool looking. No summit sandos today?
No more stale bread.
We had maple cookies instead.
They were really good. Bag of nuts, granola bar, water. Sadly, no applesauce.
How does this rank with all-time views?
All-time best. I don't think we've ever seen, 1, our favorite lake, Bow, 2, a lake that you can hardly even see from the highway, and 3, a glacier all on one summit. Although, I must admit, I am quite disappointed that there's no register up here. I would have expected, some kind of register. I just want to know how many other people have come up here this year.
That right there is my favorite part of climbing mountains. I finally got the technique down. It's so much fun and it's such an easy way to shed elevation. But I would not recommend trying something like that on your first mountain. And just to get to this path, we had to down climb some kind of sketchy rock slabs that were covered in gravel. Love it.
We are putting a temporary pause on our time in the Rockies to head to Vancouver for something really special to us, which is getting our 2nd dose of the vaccine. But for now, we're gonna put away the camera, recover from getting the vaccine, and enjoy some time with family. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you wanna follow along on more of our journey, we'd love it if you hit subscribe. Thank you as always to our patrons for making videos like this possible, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!